stiff, if you're sore, if you have limited mobility in the back, and the hips, the shoulders, and you don't know where to begin, these 5 poses are a great place to start. Hey, my name's Nick. Today we're going to look at 5 essential poses to practice every night. If you're stiff, if you're sore, if you have limited mobility in the back, and the hips, the shoulders, and you don't know where to begin, these 5 poses are a great place to start. So we're going to get started in just a second, but before we do, a couple of quick notes. If you haven't watched the short tutorial on how to breathe, that's a good place to start first. All of these poses will be more effective if you're also making the breath a part of your practice. Also, if you like this video and find it helpful, then let me know by leaving a comment and clicking the like and subscribe buttons. Cool. So, poses to do every night. Number 1, Apanasana and its variations. To do this pose, lie down on your back and hug your knees into your chest. If that's too far, you can definitely use a strap or a towel around the front of the knees to help. Once you have a hold, focus on deep abdominal breathing and rock gently from side to side to give the low back a gentle massage. A couple of variations you might explore here include practicing one leg at a time, grabbing hold of the feet and pointing the heels up towards the ceiling in happy baby pose, or taking the knees out wide apart and pulling the feet in towards the chest. This is a great stretch for the hips and the low back. If you wake up with back pain, this is definitely one that is worth looking at. Number 2, supine twists. Twisting is one of the fundamental movements of the spine, and honestly an action that many of us don't engage in regularly enough. To set up for a twist, place a block or a cushion on the outside of your hip, bend the opposite knee and cross the knee over the body to rest on your prop. Take the hand of the same side and cup the base of your skull, and then rest the other hand on the knee to help it stay on the block. Try to keep the straight leg, the spine, and the neck all in one straight line. On the inhale, stretch through the heel, and then on the exhale, reach the elbow and the shoulder towards the floor. You can also make this twist more dynamic by rolling to the side as you inhale and rolling into a twist as you exhale. If you're taking a dynamic twist here, be sure to keep your head on the ground. Practice for 5 to 10 breaths, and then move on to the other side. Number 3, this next pose works best with a foam roller, but a block or a basketball or some other kind of ball can work in a pinch. Lie down on your back and place your prop at the middle of your back. Reach your arms overhead, grab your elbows, and let your neck rest back as far as is comfortable. If you're setting up on a block, you'll need to do this a couple of times, placing the block in different places along the mid-back. It's one of the advantages of having a roller. You can adjust the position just by rolling back and forth, controlling the roll with your feet. If you spend a lot of time sitting at a desk or in a car, this pose is a great counter stretch for all of that forward rounding movement of the spine. All right. Number 4, my next recommendation is a simple stretch for the hip flexors. Just like with the previous pose, this one is fantastic if you spend a lot of time sitting down. Come into a lunge with the knees bent to 90 degrees. If you have sensitive knees, then cushions under the bottom knee is a good idea. If you have trouble placing any weight at all on the knees, you can modify this pose by sitting halfway on a chair and letting your leg hang down beneath your hips. Regardless of how you're setting this up, keep the head, the chest, and the hips, and the bottom knee all in one straight line. Place your hands on the front knee and rotate your pelvis posteriorly until you feel a stretch across the top of the thigh and the hips. You can explore taking a longer lunge to deepen the stretch, but you only need to go so far as you can feel the stretch, and you can keep the tailbone rotating down. Once you find it, hold and focus on deep breathing. And number 5, my last recommendation is for a chest opening stretch. Begin lying face down and reach the arm out to the side. We're going to stretch the chest by rolling to the side, but to make sure this is a chest stretch and not a stretch for the shoulder socket, continue trying to reach your hand away from your body as you stretch. This stretch can also feel nice with a slight twist, reaching the opposite leg back behind you, or otherwise just bending the opposite knee for support. Or, if you prefer, you can do this same chest stretch at the wall, facing the wall instead of the floor, and rotating your torso to the side. So, there you are. If you spend a good deal of time sitting, driving, working at a desk, etc., these 5 poses are great choices to include in your routine at the end of the day to help you unwind before going to bed. If you want a more in-depth look at how to stop back pain, get a better night's sleep, check out the free Just Make It Stop course in the description. Otherwise, enjoy your practice.